She whispered, "Please stop." But when he pulled her shirt away, passion exploded beyond control. Part 2 begins where the first part left off, with humanity on the edge of a major discovery. Dr. Arun Patel stared at the glowing device on the lab table. It hummed softly, almost like it was alive. The patterns of light inside it shifted with a strange intelligence. For months, he and his team had tried to understand its origin. Now, the device had finally reacted to something, him. The lab felt smaller, quieter, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath. He stepped closer, careful not to touch it directly. A voice echoed in his mind, soft and calm. "Please stop, or you will awaken what sleeps." Aaron froze. He knew it wasn't human. No one on Earth had ever spoken like this inside a person's mind. The message wasn't threatening, yet it carried a weight that made his chest tighten. It was as if the device knew him better than he knew himself. The team gathered around, curiosity and fear mirrored on every face. Mei Ling, the youngest member of the group, stepped forward. "Dr. Patel, do you think it's sentient?" she asked. Her voice barely rose above a whisper. "I don't know yet," Aaron replied. "But it's communicating in a way we've never seen. It wants something." He glanced at the pulsing light. "We need to understand it before we do anything else." Hours passed as they studied the device. Every attempt to open it or scan it caused the glowing symbols to shift, almost like it was reading their intentions. Aaron realized that the machine wasn't just advanced. It was alive in a way humans had never imagined. It had knowledge, awareness, and a strange patience. Suddenly, the room trembled. The hum became louder, resonating through their bones. Aaron grabbed May's arm to steady her. The symbols on the device aligned in a perfect pattern, and a holographic map erupted above it, showing distant stars and planets, some of which didn't exist in any human catalog. "It's a map," Aaron whispered. "A map to somewhere beyond our galaxy." The team stared in awe. The realization hit them all at once. This was not just a scientific curiosity. This device could lead humanity to the stars. It could reveal secrets that had been hidden for millennia. Then the voice returned, clearer now. "You may follow, but beware." "You are not the first to try." Aaron's mind raced. "Not the first? What does that mean?" The device pulsed again, and a small compartment opened at its base. Inside was a crystal glowing with the same light as the device. It felt warm to the touch. Aaron lifted it carefully, feeling an energy coursing through his fingers. Images flashed in his mind. Worlds filled with cities made of light, beings who looked like humans but moved with elegance beyond comprehension, and battles fought not with weapons but with knowledge and understanding. May gasped. This is incredible." "It's showing us history or the future," Aaron nodded. "Or maybe both." He felt a thrill and a chill at the same time. This crystal was not just a key, it was a test. Humanity had been given an opportunity, but with opportunity came danger. Over the next few days, the team prepared for the journey the device suggested. They upgraded their spacecraft, tested navigation systems, and studied every detail of the holographic map. Humanity had sent probes beyond the solar system before, but this was different. This journey would take them to a place no human had ever seen. On the morning of departure, Aaron stood on the observation deck, looking at the stars. The Earth below was a small blue marble, quiet and fragile. He felt the weight of responsibility. If they failed, this knowledge might be lost forever. If they succeeded, humanity would step into a new era. The launch was smooth. As the spacecraft left Earth's orbit, the device began to glow more intensely. The crew watched in wonder as space around them seemed to ripple and bend, creating a tunnel of light. They were traveling faster than anything human-made, guided by a device that seemed alive. Days turned into weeks. The crew faced many challenges: sudden gravitational anomalies, bursts of cosmic radiation, and strange, almost invisible objects that seemed to follow them. Every time the crew felt fear, the device pulsed with warmth, almost like it was reassuring them. Aaron began to understand. This was not just a map, it was a guardian. One evening, as Aaron floated in the observation module, the voice spoke again. "You are close. Remember, knowledge is a gift, but wisdom is required to use it." The spacecraft approached a massive, glowing nebula unlike anything they had seen before. Within it, a planet shone with crystalline cities, shimmering in colors beyond human imagination. This was the destination. Humanity's first encounter with an alien civilization was about to begin. As they descended, the planet's surface revealed beings of light, tall and elegant, moving in harmony with the environment. They observed the humans with curiosity but no hostility. Aaron felt a deep sense of connection, as if the beings recognized humanity's potential. One of the light beings approached the spacecraft. A voice, like a chorus, echoed in everyone's minds. "You have arrived. Few have the courage to reach here. Few have the wisdom to understand. You are the first step of a greater future." Aaron stepped out, feeling the warmth of the planet and the energy of its inhabitants. The crystal in his hand pulsed in resonance with the planet, as if welcoming him. Humanity had been tested, and they had passed. Over the next hours, the humans learned the basics of communication and understanding. They discovered technologies that could heal, create, and explore in ways that defied Earth's physics. Aaron realized that this was more than a discovery. It was a calling. Humanity was being invited to join a community of civilizations, but only if they could continue to grow with wisdom, curiosity, and respect. As the sun of the alien world set, Aaron looked at his team. They were exhausted but exhilarated. Every challenge, every moment of fear had led them here. The voice returned one last time. "The journey is only beginning. Share what you learn, and your species may shine among the stars." The humans returned to their spacecraft, ready to record, learn, and eventually bring this knowledge back to Earth. Aaron knew the responsibility was immense. Humanity was no longer alone, but the way they used this opportunity would define their place in the cosmos. And as the spacecraft rose from the glowing planet, Aaron whispered to himself, "We are ready. Humanity is ready." The stars stretched endlessly before them, and for the first time, Earth's children felt the full power of their own potential. Part 3 begins as the human crew orbits the glowing alien planet, processing everything they have just witnessed. Doctor. Arun Patel floated in the observation module, staring at the alien cities below. The crystalline structures shimmered like liquid light, and strange patterns of energy coursed through the streets. The crew had spent hours in communication with the beings of light, learning their ways, their understanding of physics, and even the subtle art of perceiving energy as language. Mei Ling approached him, carrying a small tablet that recorded their entire interaction. "Doctor." "Patel," she said, her voice trembling with excitement, "we've barely scratched the surface. Their technology, it's unlike anything on Earth. If we can bring even a fraction of this back safely, it could change everything." Aaron nodded slowly. "Yes, but we must be careful. Knowledge without wisdom can be dangerous. The beings trust us because they see potential in humanity, but we have to prove that we're worthy." The crystal in his hand pulsed faintly. It had become more than a tool. It was a guide, a teacher. Aaron felt its warmth as if it were encouraging him to take the next step. The voice they had heard before returned, echoing gently in his mind. "The next phase is yours. Choose wisely. Humanity's actions will shape your place among the stars." The team spent the next few days exploring the planet. They walked among beings of light who communicated through patterns of movement, music, and pulses of energy. Aaron marveled at their harmony. These creatures didn't need weapons. They resolved conflicts with knowledge, empathy, and strategy. Each encounter taught humanity more about the universe than decades of study on Earth ever had. One evening, while the team rested in the observation chamber, the crystal began to glow brighter than ever before. Aaron picked it up, and suddenly the world around him shifted. He found himself standing in a vision, Earth, thousands of years in the future. Cities reached toward the skies, powered by clean, limitless energy. Humans moved with purpose, not conflict. They explored distant worlds, guided by wisdom and cooperation. When the vision faded, Aaron understood. This was the future the alien civilization hoped humanity could achieve. The crystal wasn't just a key to travel or knowledge. It was a mirror showing the consequences of their choices. The stakes were higher than ever. The next day, the beings of light presented them with a challenge. A nearby star system had a planet rich in resources, but its environment was unstable and dangerous. Aaron and his team were asked to demonstrate human ingenuity and teamwork by stabilizing the planet's atmosphere long enough for future exploration. "This is a test," Aaron said, studying the holographic projection of the planet. "Not just of our skills, but of our values. We need to prove that humanity can act responsibly and thoughtfully." Over the next week, the humans worked tirelessly. Using a combination of alien energy manipulation techniques and human engineering, They created protective barriers and stabilized key atmospheric systems. At first, they faced setbacks, storms that resisted control, energy surges that threatened the shields, but each time they adapted, learned, and overcame the challenge. Mei Ling shouted with triumph one evening as the final shield locked into place. "We did it. The planet is stable," the beings of light observed silently, then radiated a warm glow across the landscape, a sign of approval. Aaron felt a deep sense of pride. Humanity had passed the test not by brute force, but by using intelligence, collaboration, and respect for life. As the team prepared to return to their spacecraft, Aaron realized another challenge awaited them: Earth. Humanity on their home planet had yet to see the stars as they had, to understand the full potential of their species. Bringing back the crystal, the knowledge, and the vision would require careful diplomacy, planning, and patience. Back aboard the spacecraft, Aaron addressed the crew. "We've proven that humanity can rise to challenges beyond imagination. But our real test begins when we share this with Earth. We must guide our people, help them understand, and avoid fear or misuse. The galaxy has given us a chance. Now it's up to us to use it wisely." The journey back was quiet but filled with anticipation. The crew worked on documenting every discovery, creating teaching systems based on the alien civilization's methods, and planning for the cautious introduction of this knowledge to human governments and scientists. One night, as Aaron watched the stars, the crystal glowed softly. The familiar voice spoke again. "Remember, the future is not fixed. Every decision matters. Humanity has potential beyond measure, but it must be guided by wisdom. Share, teach, and act with care." Aaron smiled, feeling the weight of responsibility and the thrill of possibility. Humanity had taken its first step into a larger universe, and now it was up to them to continue the journey. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, filled with unknown wonders, challenges, and civilizations waiting to be discovered. The spacecraft entered Earth's solar system, and Aaron felt a wave of anticipation. The planet below looked familiar, yet so small and fragile compared to the vast cosmos they had seen. They had glimpsed the future and the broader universe, and they carried knowledge that could inspire generations. As the spacecraft touched down, governments and scientists greeted them with awe and skepticism. Aaron and his team presented their findings carefully, showing the crystal's visions, the alien maps, and the knowledge they had gained. Some were skeptical, some fearful, but the truth of their discoveries was undeniable. In the following months, humanity began to change. Cities became cleaner, technology advanced responsibly, and cooperation increased between nations. Humanity was beginning to live up to the potential the crystal had shown, a civilization capable of wisdom, exploration, and understanding. Aaron often returned to the observation deck, looking at the stars with a sense of wonder. Humanity had been given a gift, a chance to grow, and he felt certain they would rise to the challenge. The alien civilization had entrusted them with knowledge, but it was up to humans to use it wisely. One evening, the crystal pulsed again. Aaron touched it, and a vision appeared, humans walking among the stars, united, curious, and fearless. He felt a deep sense of pride. The journey had only begun, and humanity was ready. The stars shone brighter than ever, as if acknowledging Earth's children stepping forward. For the first time, humanity understood that their potential was limitless, their courage unmatched, and their place in the universe just beginning. Aaron whispered to the night sky, "We are ready. Humanity is ready." And with that, a new era began, one of exploration, learning, and hope. Humanity had passed the first tests of the galaxy, but the universe was vast, and countless wonders awaited. The journey of discovery would never end, and humanity would rise to meet it, one star at a time. Part 4 begins as humanity takes its first cautious steps beyond Earth, guided by the wisdom of the alien civilization and the insights of the crystal. Doctor. Aaron Patel stood at the window of the space station orbiting Earth, watching the planet rotate below. From this vantage point, Earth looked calm, peaceful, and fragile, a blue gem in the darkness of space. Yet Aaron knew that even as humanity slept, conflicts, greed, and fear simmered below. The knowledge they had brought from the alien planet could either unite humanity or tear it apart. Mei Ling approached, carrying a report from the first interstellar communication experiment. "Dr. Patel, the messages worked. We were able to send and receive signals faster than light using the alien techniques. It's incredible. We can reach the stars in ways we never imagined." Aaron nodded. Yes, but technology alone isn't enough. We need to guide humanity's understanding. Knowledge without wisdom can be dangerous. He held the crystal in his hand, feeling the steady pulse of energy that had accompanied every major discovery so far. This crystal, it doesn't just show us possibilities. It shows us responsibilities. The first official step was diplomacy. Humanity had to make contact with the broader galactic community the alien civilization had hinted at. Using the crystal as a guide, Aaron and his team sent carefully encoded messages into deep space. They didn't know if anyone would respond, but hope and curiosity drove them forward. Days later, the first reply arrived. A distant civilization, communicating through energy pulses and harmonic frequencies, acknowledged their message. The beings were cautious but intrigued by humanity's potential. Aaron felt a thrill unlike any other. For the first time, humanity was no longer alone, not just in exploration, but in conversation among intelligent life. The team worked tirelessly to translate the messages. Each communication revealed lessons in diplomacy, culture, and ethics. The alien beings stressed the importance of understanding, patience, and collaboration. Aaron realized that these lessons were just as critical as the technological knowledge humanity had gained. Meanwhile, on Earth, not everyone was pleased with the revelations. Some governments saw the technology as a means of power, others feared the unknown, and still others dismissed the discoveries as a hoax. Aaron knew that bridging the gap between Earth's skepticism and the reality of the stars would be one of humanity's greatest challenges. The first interstellar summit was convened aboard the space station. Leaders from every continent gathered, along with scientists, engineers, and diplomats. Aaron presented the knowledge they had gained, showing the crystal's visions, the alien maps, and the ethical guidelines imparted by the beings of light. There was awe, there was disbelief, and there were debates. Some argued for immediate exploitation of the technologies, while others called for caution and study. Aaron spoke calmly, emphasizing humanity's responsibility. "We have been given a gift," he said. "It is a gift of knowledge, discovery, and possibility, but it is also a test. How we use it will define our species for generations. We must act with wisdom, cooperation, and respect for each other and for the universe beyond our world." The summit lasted for days. Eventually, a plan emerged. Humanity would establish a council of scientists, ethicists, and diplomats to guide exploration and interstellar communication. Technology would be shared responsibly, with oversight to prevent misuse. It was a fragile first step, but it was a start. As the summit concluded, Aaron reflected on how far humanity had come in such a short time. Just months ago, the crew had been ordinary humans exploring a strange planet. Now, they were guiding the first steps of an interstellar civilization. The weight of responsibility was immense, but so was the potential for growth. The crystal pulsed gently, as if acknowledging their progress. Aaron held it close, feeling its warmth and energy. He realized that the crystal's purpose had always been more than discovery. It had been a teacher, guiding humanity to understand its own potential and its responsibilities. In the months that followed, humanity's presence among the stars grew. The first interstellar research outposts were established, using technologies learned from the beings of light. Humans began to study new worlds, carefully observing ecosystems and civilizations before making contact. During one such expedition, the team discovered a planet rich with life and intelligence, but at a level slightly less advanced than Earth. Aaron and his team observed quietly, documenting their findings. They resisted the urge to intervene, remembering the lessons of responsibility and restraint. "This is hard," Mei Ling admitted one evening. "We want to help, but we know interfering could be dangerous." Aaron nodded. "Exactly. Patience is just as important as action. We can guide, but we must not dominate. That is what the beings of light taught us." As humanity's understanding of the universe expanded, so did their own society. Cooperation increased, nations worked together on joint space projects, and knowledge became a shared resource. The crystal remained a symbol of humanity's potential, a reminder of the responsibilities that came with power and discovery. One night, Aaron was alone in the observation deck, watching the stars. The crystal glowed faintly in his hand, and the familiar voice echoed in his mind. "Humanity has taken its first steps with care, but the universe is vast and challenges will grow. Remember your lessons, choose wisely, Act with courage, curiosity, and respect. Aaron smiled. He understood that the journey would never end. Humanity had only begun to explore the cosmos, but they were ready. The knowledge they had gained, the lessons they had learned, and the courage they had shown would guide them through the endless expanse of stars. As the space station orbited Earth, Aaron felt a deep sense of hope. Humanity had passed the first tests of interstellar responsibility. They were no longer bound by fear, ignorance, or isolation. The universe was open, and humanity was prepared to rise to its full potential. And so, with determination, courage, and wisdom, humanity took the next step into the galaxy. The crystal pulsed once more, sending a wave of light across the space station, a reminder that the journey of discovery and growth had only just begun. For the first time, humans could truly see themselves as part of a larger universe, capable of greatness, exploration, and understanding. And Aaron knew that with patience, intelligence, and heart, humanity would not only survive but thrive among the stars. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, full of challenges and wonders, and humanity moved forward with confidence. The journey was far from over, but the first steps had been taken. Aaron whispered once more, gazing into the infinite cosmos, "We are ready. Humanity is ready."